and welcome to round 2 of the Parenting Roundabout podcast. I'm Catherine Haleko, and I'm here with Terry Morrow.
Hello.
Usually on this podcast, we talk about parenting issues, but once a week, Terry and I like to get together to discuss TV, movies, books, and other entertainment topics, because it's nice to talk about something other than parenting for a change. This week, we're continuing with our watch of the second season of Veronica Mars with the 21st episode, which we really had to watch through our fingers because, but we'll get to that after Dancing with the Stars. So, top 11, there's still many dancers on Dancing with the Stars, and my problem is I'm voting for most of them.
I know. I always start out, I'm voting for Neve and for Justina. Those are like my two. And then, but Nellie's so good, and I thought Monica is getting more and more relaxed, so I want to throw her some votes. And then AJ is so fun to watch. And then pretty soon it's like I'm voting for everybody. And this is how the people you like lose, is because you spread your votes around too much.
Right.
So we're not quite at the point in the season where we have to really cut down, but we're getting there.
Yeah.
So
I think I voted for about 6 or 7 out of 11. Including Vernon. I voted for him, though he was the one who got sent home.
Yeah.
So.
I really didn't care which of those final 2 went home, but I was pretty sure they would pick Johnny. Yeah. And when Vernon was doing his dance this week, it was very enjoyable and it was very fun and he was very game, but there's a certain plottiness to it that is just not really, I kind of felt like maybe he kind of wished he had gone home last week. And he didn't look too upset this week. So,
yeah.
Which is too bad because I really like him and I like what they've done in his packages. And, he does what he has to do. And,
Yeah. Yeah. I like him.
I think it was probably his time.
I tend to like the football players,
yes.
It seems like.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I would have been very happy for the Bachelorette to go home before him, but that just ain't going to happen. I think it's pretty clear.
She's not among my list of people I vote for.
Nor mine.
Yeah. Her and I'm sorry, Chriselle.
Yes.
Very sad story, but no, she's not on my list.
Yeah, she did a contemporary for dead relatives and still didn't get great scores, so I'm not sure how much longer she'll be around, but yeah, I don't really care for either of them, but they're going to be with us for a while.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's inevitable. Synergy.
Yeah.
Corporate synergy.
Right. They of course had Derek doing his dance. That was this week's, they're starting to need filler now that they have cut down from 27 couples to 11. And
yes.
I was thinking when the show first started that I so miss the big numbers that they are not doing this season.
Right.
But then they tried to give us a group number with Derek by showing him reflected and projected hologram. I don't know what was happening there.
Yeah.
It was multiple Dereks.
Yeah, that was just weird. The dancing was wonderful. I really enjoyed their dancing. It was so fast and so cool, but I could have done without all the special effects.
Right.
Just dance. Because
Exactly.
if you dance with 500 images of yourself, people are going to make fun of you, Derek. There are people who don't like you, buddy. I hate to tell you. And this sort of thing plays right into their hands.
Yeah.
So, maybe not. Dance with your pretty girlfriend and let it go. But,
right. Because, it's flashy enough.
Yes.
With them dancing.
Their dancing was super flashy.
Right. We didn't need the special effects.
Yeah. That was, but it was interesting to watch, but it was unnecessary. As you're watching it, you're going, this really seems excessive.
Yes. But you will note that they did allow Vernon 10 seconds to say
goodbye. They did. They did. Yay. And he left like a good sport,
Yes.
Smile on his face.
Yes.
So, and I think that Justina needs to make a large donation to the costuming department, maybe small unmarked bills in a briefcase
That was
to
not good.
stop putting her in these costumes that are awful. Oh my goodness. It reminds me of, didn't Bindi have some problem at the beginning because they couldn't seem to find a way to handle her bust line without her looking matronly?
Right. And she was like 17 at the time.
Yeah. And with Justina, they just seem to be purposefully putting her in unflattering outfits.
Yeah.
So,
yeah,
seriously,
definitely was not a fan of this weird pastel furry Muppet thing that they put on her today.
Yeah, it was awful. And the Mary Poppins thing was awful. And the Flashdance thing could have been better. And I mean, set up a GoFundMe. I'll chip in $20 to get Justina some better costumes. How hard can it be? Seriously, you're professional costuming people.
That's right.
Maybe she was rude to somebody on the first day, and they're like, "We'll fix you."
I don't
Missy.
know, because the stuff that Tyra wears, I just don't understand at all. And she's the boss, so
that's right.
You gotta think she approves of everything she's wearing.
I guess so. She's still not good. I mean, does seem to be less and less of her, but she's asking them questions that were answered in the packages.
Mm-hmm.
She's repeating what they just did.
Right.
And then after that, there's no time to get the results before the commercial. Mm-hmm. Is somebody not paying attention to this? Is nobody in her earpiece screaming to her, "Shut up! Get the scores!"
And she, when the judges are giving their verdict at the very end, she's interrupting them.
Yes.
I mean, Bruno was about to say, and then she's like, "Bruno, you gotta tell me. They're telling me in my ear. You gotta say it." And he's like, "Yeah, he was about to say it. In the time that it took you to urge him on, he would have been finished."
Yeah.
So,
I feel bad bashing on her week after week after week, because it is what it is. She's not going anywhere. And, it would be good to be charitable, but this is a professional entertainment operation. And there's clearly a problem. I mean, and it's not anymore about, hey, we miss Tom, so we're going to hate the new girl. It's just not well put together. Yeah. And also just every week when she comes out and does her catwalk thing and the audience screams, the fake audience, and she stands there and she milks I've talked about this before, she milks the applause from the fake audience.
Right, from the soundboard guy.
Oh my goodness. It's so ridiculous.
Yeah.
I'm not sure ego-wise how it balances up with Derek dancing with 50 versions of himself, but it's still not good. And it's every week, so it's noticeable. I don't know. Yeah. But,
and they even had Carrie Ann getting booed while she was giving critique and then responding to being booed. Like, yeah, everyone knows this is not real.
I know. It's just because you at first think that it is, and then you remember. So she needs to obviously pay off the soundboard guy. Right. Cheers only. Cheers and whistles only for me. I'll make it worth your while.
Right. Exactly.
So weird. Such a weird season.
Yes.
And poor Sky. She's such a sweet little thing. One feels bullying to even say that she's not doing that good.
She's really not.
I was surprised she wasn't in the bottom, too.
Me, too. Yeah, when they left her hanging up there until the last minute. In no particular order, Tyra says, when there are only 3 couples left. So she's only going to announce one name.
Yeah.
And she says, again, in no particular order.
Yeah, I don't know. That's not good.
I thought AJ did really well today.
Yeah, he did. I really liked that dance, and he seemed to be really into it. And, I really enjoy him. I would not mind him going all the way.
I threw him some of my hundreds
too.
Of votes.
I did too. I like them very much as a couple. I didn't throw her any votes, but I do I enjoyed Jeannie maybe in the packages more than in her dancing. But I wouldn't mind her going long. I saw somebody mention this online, and I looked it up. She's 41. Would you think that looking at her?
No.
I told my daughter, asked my daughter to guess how old she was, and my daughter said 31, and I said, you're 10 years off, and she thought I meant 21.
Wow. No. That's impressive.
It really is. Good for her. And she has
Although it also says something about her maturity.
That's true.
Because it's not just her looks. It's like her personality too.
Yeah. It's her shtick.
Very youthful.
Yeah. Who knows how she is really, but it's her shtick, definitely.
Yeah.
And it's engaging.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm still unhappy with Brandon's hair, but she's very cute.
Brandon's hair worked well for 80s night, but it's remaining in place.
It's problematical.
Now that 80s night is so long gone.
Let's see who else. Just the people I normally like, I liked again. Mm-hmm. I still think Neve is very good. And Jenna has never been my favorite, but I'm liking her now with him.
Thanks to Neve.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
So it may be a one-time only proposition, but
she better enjoy it.
She shouldn't get used to it. Anything else particularly stand out to you? For better or for worse?
So, yeah. No, I don't think so. So,
okay.
Shall we move on to
we have to? Maybe we can talk
about
of
Veronica Mars
for a long
It was titled Happy Go Lucky, and it did not make us happy.
No, indeed not. I give it a, what's the lowest paddle possible? I give it 0.
So this episode was just an unrelenting series of awful events.
At the beginning of the episode, apropos to something I no longer remember, Veronica asked the question, is this going to make me nauseous? And it turned out that the answer for this episode was yes!
Yes, everything about it.
So awful. Just, I mean, they've been piling a humongous stack of excrement in front of the fan all season. And it was pretty clear that these 2 episodes were when they were going to turn the fan on.
Yeah.
And it just made me want to hide under the bed. Just, can we just skip ahead for next season? That's okay. I need to see this stuff. Just awful.
Yeah.
I did, I will admit, recuse myself from the trial scenes because I rarely.
As you have said, you need to do.
I think I've said here before that I don't like trial scenes in entertainment. They make me nervous for exactly the reason that, I mean, I've since read what went on and listened to the Veronica Mars Investigations podcast, but for exactly this reason that writers can do whatever they want without any particular consultation of things that would happen in an actual trial and just for their own devices. And when it involves smug sociopaths, smearing good people and then getting off, I just, abstain.
Yeah.
I will go to jail to stay out of having to involve myself in this bogus legal proceeding. It was just so stupid. It was
infuriating. Yes. Everything about it, the way that, just the way it went down with Aaron and the way that they cross-examined Veronica as if she, was at fault here, and the incompetence of the prosecutors of just allowing all of this to happen was just maddening. So
yeah. I mean, if the case were so flimsy that all you had to do was discredit the Marses to make it go away, he would not have spent a year in jail. It would have gone away by now. It's so easy to smear the Marses that Jake Kane already did it,
Mm-hmm.
So you would not base an entire case solely on their testimony. When the grand jury indicted this guy, did nobody look at the tapes? Did no investigator look at the tape? Did the prosecutor not look at the tape? Would they just taken the word of Veronica that what was on the tape? That's ridiculous. Of course not. You cannot tell me that Sheriff Lamb did not watch that tape. He totally watched that tape. They all watched that tape, and they watched it again, and they high-fived each other. So it's just, I mean, if this were a civil case, if Veronica and Keith were suing Aaron for assaulting them, maybe this is how it would go down. But for a criminal case that's been waiting around for a year, it's just completely ridiculous. It's just offensively ridiculous. And I want to take the writing staff and just smack them around. I want to lock them in a cell with Aaron and see how they enjoy it.
Yes.
It's just awful. Awfulness, awfulness, awfulness.
Yes.
And
so there was all that awfulness. There was, just a casual school shooting.
Yes.
That was dispensed with within 3 minutes.
I'm like, oh, lucky, you survived. You survived to the start of the episode. I thought you were going to be dead already. Well. No,
well, now you're dead. Yeah.
Isn't there a metal detector at this school? Is it just for the building? You can have your guns on the patio and in the parking lot, but do not bring them into the classroom, children. What the heck?
I mean, he can go in through the staff entrance or whatever, so yes. I guess. I don't know.
Also, we find out later that he was in a padded cell on the day of the bus crash and then went back to his job at a school?
Right.
Who signed off on this exactly?
Right.
So many WTFs in this episode. So very many.
And then in case you were invested in Jackie and Wallace enjoying their last few days of high school, you got punched in the face on that as well. Because Terrence was sort of strong-armed into having to work at the casino as like an indentured servant for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Which, again, as they talked about in the podcast, like, everybody already knows about his throwing the game.
Yes.
So, I mean, I guess this is just a financial thing. But they don't have a lot of... The only thing that Leonard Lobo has on him is you owe me money.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, because we know that the damaging news has already come out that he threw a game. And there's been very little like, well, here's what's going to happen to him now because of it. I guess the implication is that he can't make any money because he can't get any endorsements.
Right. Yeah. So, what you're saying here is that there's a plot on Veronica Mars that does not make logical sense and is not the way the world works. And I'm shocked.
Yes, so because Terrence is being super, super cranky after staying up all night working at the casino, Jackie just disappears to Paris. Goodbye.
Yeah, I would feel a little worse about it if Wallace hadn't disappeared on her once. True. Did he even leave her a note when he went to Chicago?
Yeah, I don't know if he did.
Their relationship wasn't at the same place at that point, but still, it's not, it's kind of their MO here. We just got trauma, gotta go.
Yeah, but still, again,
I don't like to see him gut punched like that. And she was so adorably happy for the little bit there. It was so cute. I liked that version of Jackie. Oh.
Yeah, and once again, like, how is she paying for this? How do you, like, book a flight, an international flight in 6 hours and
those are good questions.
Pack up your life and move to France?
Leonard Lobo told her, hey, chickie, get out of here. I want to have this guy under my thumb. Here.
Go get some ice cream in Paris.
That's right. Oh, man. And then, just when we thought that Aaron was the scummiest scumbag that ever scumbagged, here comes a late-inning challenger. Rounding the bases, it's Woody Goodman.
Child molester.
Aaron only killed one high school kid who threatened him. Woody offed a whole bus full, most of whom weren't even his targets. And, I mean, he didn't set Veronica on fire or anything, but he totally would if he had the chance, don't you think? On the barbecue in his backyard.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He was very menacing and creepy. Yes.
Gads. It was always clear something was wrong with this dude because he was played by Steve Guttenberg, and why would you have a recognizable actor there if he wasn't going to do anything? Right. If he wasn't going to get his big, wahaha, evil turn at the end of the season. But this came out of nowhere. Were there any hints over the course of the season that this is where this was going to go?
Yeah, not really. I mean, we
had like 5 million clues about the bus crash, 5 million theories about the bus crash every week. Here's another theory. Here's another theory.
Right.
Nothing on this
Yeah. And, way back when, there was the whole thing about how Woody's wife was treating their son.
Yes.
Like, are we supposed to think that, I don't know, like, was he abusing the son as well?
Yeah,
and what did the wife have to do with it?
Does suddenly pose that question. Another question posed when we saw the entire family standing outside while the bomb squad was searching the house is that Gia is a good head and shoulders taller than anybody else in her family. Where did she come from? But maybe she was wearing high-heeled slippers. Now, she's a very tall and lanky girl. But, yeah, I don't know about this. This seems like they got to the end of the season and said, oh, crud, we have to find a reason for Woody to be responsible for the bus crash. We haven't come up with anything yet. Incorporation just dissolved. So, I know.
Here's an idea.
Now,
and also, like, okay, he does the bus crash because of his 2 victims being on board the bus. Well, Lucky wasn't on the bus.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess if he knew Lucky was locked up in a padded cell, but that didn't take care of Lucky.
There are holes. Well, yeah, Lucky was maybe not the one. Lucky wasn't threatening him. He was just stalking him. So, see, he'll take care of Lucky later. I don't know. There are holes. Such big holes in this whole thing. I just do not understand.
I also was saddened by the outcome, at least for this episode, for poor Weevil, who worked so hard to learn algebra. And now they're going to bust him for Thumper, which we know he chloroformed Thumper, but we know he didn't actually put him in the stadium.
Yeah. So when I saw the scene in the previouslys, again, saw the little kid's face in the back of the van, which I remembered from the first one. But clearly the Veronica Mars Investigations people still don't remember that because they were saying there were kids on bikes in the street. And it's like, no. They made a big deal of running a light across this van so you could see this kid's face.
Right.
So, and it was the same little moppet.
Mm-hmm. That identified Weevil in his glamour shot.
Yes.
His glamour shot, mugshot.
Right. Man, let the
That was the only, fun thing of this episode was the algebra tutoring.
Yeah, and Mac and Cassidy getting back together. Oh, good. I'm so happy for the 2 of them. They're so adorable. Yeah. Do you see a happy future for those 2?
No, I do not.
I don't see any happier future for those 2 than for Veronica and Logan, but Veronica and Logan are epic, and Mac and Cassidy are sort of, this just seems like a bad idea. Really? Really, Mac? Set your sights higher, girlfriend.
Let's put Mac and Weevil together.
There you go. That I would endorse that. That sounds about right. Yes. Let's go there. Well,
one more episode to somehow wrap this up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yep. This was... I mean, these last episodes were always going to be unpleasant, so...
Yeah.
And they are.
That is indeed what happened. And next week, we will talk about the season finale. It is called Not Pictured. And funny enough, on Dancing with the Stars, it's Villains Night.
Oh.
So
perfect.
Maybe Woody Goodman will show up, or Aaron Echolls,
right.
Or Jake Kane. I don't know.
There you go. You know what? They could have their pick of undesirables.
That's right. Sheriff Lamb. I don't know. There's lots of people. And that's going to be it for our round 2 today. Please subscribe to our Parenting Roundabout podcast so you won't miss any of our episodes. We have something new for you every weekday. As always, you can find recaps, links, and an opportunity to comment on our website at parentingroundabout.com. Bye, Terry.
Bye, Catherine.
Bye, everyone.